Alright, so I have a doctor's appointment to go to today, so I'm missing your class. I should be back later if you really need help. Otherwise, tomorrow we can certainly continue to go over things as we will. As we're spending the week on this stuff, and your test will be on Friday. So we are talking about the third and final form, which is the one down on the bottom here. It is standard form. Now, with our other forms, we always had like the information in the title. So slope-intercept form had a slope and a y-intercept. Point-slope form had a point and a slope. Now standard form does have two pieces of information. It's just not very clear based on the title. But as you can see with our vocab here, the two pieces of information are the y-intercept and the x-intercept. We've talked about the y-intercept before, and that is where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so it's where the line crosses the y-axis. We have, as I mentioned, gone over that before. Okay, now looking at the graph over here, remember the x goes left to right and the y goes up and down. Okay, so using slope-intercept form, if we were looking for the y-intercept, which was represented by the b, it would be at this point right here. Okay, but in that particular form, the y-intercept represented, or the b represented the y-intercept, was simply where it crossed the y-axis. Okay, and that was just one value plugged into the b spot. Okay, but we're finding the x and the y-intercept, and if I just said that y equals -3, well, that wouldn't be true, because y equals -3 is not a point on a graph, it's an actual line, and we'll learn more about that a little bit later. So I think we all can see that the point that's on the graph right there does have a y value of -3, but the question is, what is the x value? Well, if you fold it straight up, you should be able to see that the x value is 0. So add that to your notes. In order for it to cross the y-axis, your x is always 0. Okay, and I'm even going to put 0 in capital and underlined it, and just also underline the fact that it's the x that is always 0. Okay, we're going to need that when we do our actual math for our problems here. Okay, so now let's talk about the x-intercept. Well, on the graph, there's a dot that would go right there. Okay, well, we'd go over 2, so our x value is 2, and if you follow that straight to the left, I think you will also see that our y value is 0. Okay, so x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis in this case, and add to it that the y is always 0. Okay, so that's kind of the two pieces of information, is the y-intercept in which x is 0, and the x-intercept in which y is 0. Okay, and it has to be the opposite variable, because otherwise the line will never cross those axes. Okay, so standard form, just generally speaking, looks like this. It's ax plus by equals c. Now, a, b, and c, they're just numbers. Okay, the big thing with standard form that's completely different from all the other ones is that the x and the y are on the same side and regular numbers on the other. Okay, so that's kind of the big difference there. So once again, y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, and we know that x is always 0 in order for it to do so, and the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis, and y is always 0 in order for it to be able to do that. So in the next couple of slides here, we are going to actually find the x and y-intercept. All right, so finding x and y-intercepts, once again, Sue talked about how it would be extremely beneficial to make sure you write down the titles as well. So once again, we are finding x and y-intercepts. So our equation is 3x plus 4y equals 24. Now we talked about in the vocab that in order to find, I'm going to start with the y-intercept. Not that it matters, you just need to find both. So in order to find the y-intercept, we talked about that x is equal to 0, that it's always 0. Now if we plugged in 0 for x, 3 times 0 equals 0, and it goes away. Okay? If our x goes away, that means we can solve for our y. Okay, that's the intent there. So for the y-intercept, because x is 0, that gives me 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 24. So as I mentioned, 3 times 0 is just 0, so that gives me 4y equals 24. My y is being multiplied by 4, so divide both sides by 4, so y equals 6. Now I talked about on the last slide as well that I can't have y equals a number that doesn't represent a dot on a graph. It's an actual line. So in order for this to represent an actual dot on a graph, I need an ordered pair. And remember, our ordered pairs are always x, comma, y. Well, we said in our notes, and we have it over here, for the y-intercept, our x is always 0. So the y-intercept is 0, comma, 6. Now over here, I'm going to find the x-intercept. Okay, and in order to find the x-intercept, our y is 0. So I'm plugging 0 into that spot right there. So that gives me 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 24. Well, 4 times 0 is 0, and that goes away. That leaves us with 3x equals 24. It's being multiplied by 3, so we divide by 3. So x equals 8. Once again, I need an ordered pair, but here are my two x and y values, and this one, my answer is 8, comma, 0. Okay, so your two answers are always ordered pairs. One will be 0, comma, a number, the other will be a number, comma, 0. Okay, so that is the first example in which we are finding x and y intercepts. Let's look at another one. All right, so my equation here, 5x minus 6y equals 60. Once again, in order to find the y-intercept, my x is 0. So that gives me 5 times 0 minus 6y equals 60. Well, 5 times 0 is just 0, so that goes away. Now make sure you notice that it's being subtracted here, which is also a negative. So this is actually negative 6y equals 60, and y is being multiplied by negative 6, so we have to divide by negative 6, and y equals negative 10. But our final answer is an ordered pair, 0, comma, negative 10. Okay, moving over to find the x-intercept. My y is 0. So I plug in 0 for y, that gives me 5x minus 6 times 0 equals 60. Well, 6 times 0 is just 0. 5x minus 0 is just 5x. So that gives us 5x equals 60. And it's being multiplied by 5, so we divide by 5. And x equals 12, because 60 minutes, the 12 represents 60 minutes on the clock. And then our ordered pair would be 12, comma, 0. Okay, so just to talk through these again, remember you can always pause the video if you need more time to write things down. To find the y-intercept, we plugged in 0 for x and did the math. Make sure you pay attention when there's a subtraction, it's actually a negative, so remember that. Then to find the x-intercept, we plugged in 0 for y, which made the y go away, and that allowed us to solve for the x. Okay, a couple more problems like this. I'm going to work through these ones a little bit more quickly so you can just kind of watch if you think you don't need to write down another example. Otherwise, you can always pause it. All right, so this one, 3x plus 8y equals 12. So for my y-intercept, my x is 0. That gives me 3 times 0 plus 8y equals 12. Well, the 3 times 0 goes away. That leaves me with 8y equals 12. It's being multiplied by 8, so I divide by 8. Now, the number 12 is not equally divisible by 8. Okay, and that's perfectly fine, but just make sure, as we know, you always need to reduce or simplify your fractions. So 12 and 8 are both divisible by 4, so I'm going to do that, and that gives me 3 over 2. So my final answer here would be 0, 3 over 2. To find my x-intercept, my y is 0. That gives me 3x plus 8 times 0 equals 12. Well, 8 times 0 is 0. It goes away, leaving me with 3x equals 12. It's being multiplied by 3, so I divide by 3, and x equals 4. Final answer there, 4, 0. Okay, can't stress it enough. You plug in 0 for x when you're trying to find the y-intercept, and you plug in 0 for y when you're trying to find the x-intercept, and your final answer is always an ordered pair. All right, one last example here. Okay, I wanted you to see this one because it's actually quite a bit easier, but sometimes it feels harder because it looks differently. Okay, no matter what the equation, you're always doing the same thing. To find the y-intercept, you're plugging in 0 for x. So in this case, that gives me 0 plus y equals 9. Well, I don't have to multiply anything times the 0 because the 0 is just there, and 0 plus y is just y. And so I get y equals 9. There's nothing else I need to do here. I know what my y is. Nothing's happening to it, so I don't have to do anything else. So my answer here is 0, 9. To find the x-intercept, I'm plugging in 0 for y, and that gives me x plus 0 equals 9. Well, x plus 0 is just x, so I'm left with x equals 9. There's nothing else I need to do more there either. So I just write that in my final answer, 9, 0. Plug in 0 for x in order to find the y-intercept. Plug in 0 for y in order to find the x-intercept. Okay, take your time, talk through the problems, show your work. Even probably would be helpful for every time you write it out to say what number you're plugging in for, which 0 you're plugging it in for, like I did in all of our examples. Good luck.